say silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I had today.
All right. Good morning. You are tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie in for U-Turn Laverne on One Street Over. I'm so glad you all have joined us today. We have special guests, but before we do that, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for waking us all up, for having a special purpose for each and every one of us. Take this show where you want it to go. May everything we do and say glorify you. We love you. We praise you. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen. All right, so the reason why this is a very special day today is because we have first-time guests. And that's always fun, especially for people who have seen the show for many years. So I am going to let you guys talk a little bit. Obviously, I need to take a drink of water.
That's fine. That is fine.
So anyways, but in studio today, we do have Sherry and Jane Evans from the Adams Station. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk a little bit about your place.
All right. Well, we own Adams Station down in Adams, Tennessee. We do barbecue, brisket. We have daily specials. We do breakfast, pie. We do all kinds of vegetables and sides. During the summer, we do a Danny plate, which is chicken salad, pimento cheese, and some sides to go with it. We cater just about anything to make some money.
All right. Well, and the fun thing is that it was a total God thing that I came across you guys.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
On Thursday, I was driving home from the Wild Doc, my favorite doctor in the whole universe, and he's in Clarksville, and I took a wrong turn, and I ended up in your parking lot, and I looked up, I'm like, oh, Adams Station. Yeah, Denise Holman was telling me about Adams Station, how good they were, and I was like, I don't think I've ever eaten here, and I was hungry, so I'm like, all right, well, let's do this. So I went in, and oh my goodness, it was so good, and so I was like, hey, what are y'all doing on Monday? Because Laverne just texted and said, hey, do you want to do Monday's show? And I was like, sure. She's like, all right, get a guest. And so it was perfect timing that I was there. And that, well, I asked you, I said, have you guys been on before? And you're like, nope. So I'm like, perfect.
It's because I'm a nervous person.
Oh, and look at how beautiful you look on camera.
Thank you.
So you are there right there on the border, basically, right?
Yes.
Could you tell people where you are?
Well, if we get at 7716 Highway 41 North in Adams, and we're kind of across from the fire station. It's where Corky Atkins' old gas station used to be. So if you go to the dollar store, you went too far.
Okay, and you are open. Is it Wednesdays through
Wednesday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Okay, all right. And I heard that you have quite a breakfast group.
Oh, yes, I have quite a breakfast group. It's never dull, especially if you come at 6 o'clock.
Wow. Okay, so what time do you serve breakfast? From when to when?
From 6 to 10.
Okay, from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay, and then lunch is anytime after 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so what are some of your absolute, favorites? They go fast. Like, if you want this for breakfast, you better get here before 9.
Tenderloin. Tenderloin goes really fast, but usually we kind of cook meat as we go, and biscuits and all, so we have it, so it'll be fresh and it'll be the best you can get. So.
Oh, nice.
But then for lunch, lasagna always goes fast. Fried pork chops always go fast. Hash brown casserole on Friday goes fast. That's what you was wanting the other day. So,
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, mac and cheese goes pretty fast. White beans have been flying out the window on Friday. So
That's interesting. All right, and so are there certain days that you have lasagna, or
on Wednesday is usually Italian day. Either it's lasagna, it's some kind of pasta, tortellini, ravioli, pizza casserole.
Ooh.
Just something, and usually it's butter potatoes, green beans, another kind of bean. During the summer, we try to do salads.
Ah. So you do some seasonal favorites?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
When garden stuff starts coming in, everybody wants to share the love, so we always
Oh,
try to have fresh stuff when garden season. So
very nice. Awesome.
on Thursday, it just depends on what we can find that we want to cook, or if we have, like, we like to make chicken pot pie, and we like to make it out
Ooh.
of like if we have chicken left over from off the grill,
Mm-hmm.
we make it with that because it just has a better taste. So
Oh.
Chicken casserole goes really well.
yeah.
Ah.
One of the best.
Mm.
So,
I think we're gonna have to have you guys back, because I was just thinking about some of those talk shows where they come in and they bring all the food for the host to taste.
we could do that.
Man,
We
I should have
could do
told you at least
that.
to bring all the pies,
Yeah,
and I could have been
one
like,
of
"Oh, look at
each
this."
pie. I was gonna say Mama makes buttermilk pie, fudge pie, coconut pie, pecan pie, Kentucky Derby pie. A couple weeks ago, she got me on making cream pies, which was chocolate,
Caramel.
caramel,
Oh,
yeah, and coconut cream, which is my favorite. So,
okay. Nice. What's your favorite pie, Mom?
Oh, I think caramel's my favorite. I love caramel cream pie
Caramel cream pie. Wow.
and banana pudding.
yeah, we don't make it as often as everybody likes.
We make the older.
the hot banana pudding with the meringue on it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, what have you all been, cooking and doing all this for your whole life? And have you, how long have you had Adams Station even?
I've had it since 2016, but I've worked there since 2011. Mama has worked on and off there because my sister and her husband have owned it before we did. So Mama worked there some then too. So yeah, I think we've cooked all our lives. So I remember watching my Nana or Mama or my Aunt Ellen. She owned a beauty salon in Adams, and I remember going there, and in between cutting hair, she would go back in the back and cook her supper or her lunch. So I remember going and watching hers. So
Ah. All right. So good cooks run in the family.
Yes.
definitely, definitely.
Okay. Now, where did did your mom and your grandma, is that where you,
Yes, they taught me a lot. I used to be cafeteria manager at Joe Burns High School for 10 years.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said I was at Joe Burns High School cafeteria manager for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So I've been around food all my life.
Okay, so some people might be recognizing you from there.
Could be.
Ah,
Some of the students. So.
okay. So you started cooking at an early age then?
Yes, yes. I got married when I was 16. So, so you learn to cook really quick.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So was it your mom or your grandma that was really, your influence?
Probably my grandmother. My mom taught me a lot, but she had to work, so grandmother taught me a lot.
Okay. And what was your grandma's specialty?
Oh gosh, she could cook anything. One of the guys that comes to the station, he knows my grandmother. And he used to go to her house to eat tea cakes. She used to make homemade tea cakes. So
Oh.
they were pretty special.
Ah, very good. Did you ever make them when they had the Burdett's tea shop up here?
No, I have never.
Now, did you ever used to go to Burdett's? Did you ever go to Burdett's?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Okay, so right, it was in the downtown, on Main Street.
Yeah.
And so right now, Curated Collections is there. But for when I first got to town, Burdett's was there, and I loved it. They had all, of course, hot,
Yes.
hot and
Yes.
cold teas, but little tea cakes and little sandwiches and all that, and it was always busy.
Yeah.
And after COVID, when COVID hit, I guess it kind of
Yeah.
shut
Yeah.
them
Shut
down, and
everything.
they never recovered from that. But I really wish someone else would open a tea shop.
That would be
So
nice.
can you let all your friends know?
we can do that with the tea room. With the dining room down there. We
Or
can have a
maybe
little
you could do a little tea room on the side, or certain hours for tea.
Yeah.
Like you close it. What time?
we
you
close at 1:30.
Okay, well then you could open for like an afternoon tea.
Yeah, 2 to 4 for tea time. Oh,
I'm just waiting for someone to do that because we still have a lot of people that come and look for Burdett's.
yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody, I see all the vape shops coming into town. It's like, do we really need one more vape shop? How about a
vape
tea shop?
Yeah, I agree.
I think I want to get a T-shirt made. No more vape shops. Just give me a tea shop. Oh, goodness.
That would be nice.
Well, I'm going to take a station break right now because we need to do that. And then when we come back, we are going to be talking some more to Sherry and Jane Evans. They are with Adams Station, which is a meat and three. Is that what I could?
Yes, ma'am.
And it is so good. If you haven't tried Adams Station yet, you really need to. So let's go ahead and hear about Barry and Rebecca Richards.
Barry and Rebecca Richards are with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Now, what does that mean for you? That means you got a great team that's going to come to the table with you, whether you're buying or selling, or maybe you want to be mentored to be a realtor yourself. They would love to bring you in and make you part of the family, whether it be you're looking for a full-time change or just want to do something part-time. Now, if you're coming to the table as somebody that's selling, you've got to consider get one chance to make a first impression. Barry's going to make sure you make that first impression absolutely perfectly. He is a Zillow certified photographer, licensed and insured drone pilot. We can do the 360-degree virtual reality home tours. We'll get you up on realtor.com. People are going to see your property. They're going to want to take a second look. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, which illustrates she studies all the time, staying up to date on what she needs to know to properly represent you. You can find them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy.robertsoncounty.com, or just give Becky a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, and always tell them U-Turn sent you.
Okay, we are back in studio. And again, this is Lee Marie filling in for U-Turn Laverne. And for those of you that don't know, today is a national holiday. So don't plan on going to the library or the post office because all those types of places are closed. Are you guys open today?
No, ma'am.
Oh, that's right, because
It's
Monday.
Monday.
That's right, You're
Yes,
never
ma'am.
open on Mondays. So, anyways, but yes, today is a national holiday. And remember, if you missed any part of this broadcast and you're in the car listening, you can watch it because we are on the WSGI1100.com website. And if you have an iPhone, there is an app for WSGI Radio. So at any point, you can, watch that if you missed a part of the show, or if you just want to share the show. Like maybe you have some friends that live right where they were talking about, and maybe they haven't been over there yet. So go ahead and share this because we love to, eat local and talk about local people. And speaking of local, you guys, do you live in Cedar Hill?
I live in Cedar Hill. Mama lives in Adams.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So.
All right. But you've lived in this area your whole lives?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Very nice. See, so I love supporting local folks like that, Okay, what are we missing that we need to tell people who maybe haven't been there yet?
Mama was reminding me during COVID to kind of make extra money because things did slow down. We made freezer meals or just freezer entrees that we would sell, and we can always, if you have something you want, if you just give us a call or send me a message on Facebook. We can always do that. And we do have the barbecue and brisket family packs, and it's a pound of meat with 2 sides and bread.
Wow. Well, what a great deal.
Yes, yeah.
Especially for people who, are so busy working, they could just get that straight in the
and,
freezer.
pick it up on Saturday and then just stick it in their freezer and have it. So.
Okay, now if they want to get one of these freezer meals, how long in advance do they need to get
At least 2 days is good.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And then they can only pick up Wednesday through Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, unless we're up there.
Okay.
We got an order going out tomorrow.
Ah.
So, and, we're closed Monday and Tuesday, but we got up. And if we're up there, just give me a shout. And if we have it, I don't mind opening the door and selling it to you. So.
Okay. All right. So what are the casseroles the most famous for the freezer meals?
Yeah, lasagna, anything. The pastas do really well, the lasagna, and I like the pot pie. We do a breakfast casserole, and it does really well.
Now, what's in the breakfast casserole?
It's sausage, egg, cheese, sour cream. Yeah, all between some crescent rolls, and it's one of Mama's favorites. So,
I'm gonna have to try that.
yes.
Well, I think now, since I do go to Wild Dock on a regular basis for adjustments, I think that I'm just gonna have to make the adjustment to stop by you guys.
To swing on
on
by.
the way home.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when I was in the other day, I had those mashed potatoes were so amazing and so creamy and wonderful. Are those popular?
Yes, they really are. We usually have those on Thursday with mac and cheese. So, of course, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese go before anything else. So.
Okay. And the little corn nuggets were good too.
Yeah, yes, all those kids at school love the corn nuggets. So younger people really like those. And the fried squash is good too. It was really hot. You tried it and it was a little warm,
Yes.
but
I did take that with me,
yes.
and that was very good as well. But yeah, I think my favorite thing that particular day was the mashed potatoes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, oh yeah, now I'm hungry.
You'll be starved by this afternoon.
And you're not
I
open.
know. I'm
we,
sorry.
we do the butter potatoes on Wednesday. usually.
Butter potatoes.
Butter potatoes. We just take the red potatoes and boil them and just chop them up. And I mean, it's nothing but butter, salt, pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Pop them back in the oven, let them get warm, and they're really popular too. So
All right, so get a little closer to the mic, Mom. So tell me about the catering, because I have heard that you guys have catered some pretty big events.
we have we've done several weddings. We did a meal for Mark Green, the congressman. And we've been in talks with Miss Holman about doing another meal in March.
Weddings.
Yeah, weddings, birthday parties.
So what's like? Is there like a minimum and a maximum of amount of people that you can do it? No.
No.
You're like, bring it on.
Yeah, we do. I mean, like last weekend, we did one order for 25 and an order for 30. Those are a little more manageable when you have the smaller ones. But our biggest wedding was 400 people.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, and if it wasn't one for my mom and my dad, well, with me and my kids, it would be painful. So, I'm not sure my kids always want to do it, but
So now, does everybody in the family work there pretty much?
pretty much. So, because my brother's there sometimes, and he's just hanging out. But sometimes we'll say, "Hey, go throw something in the fryer." So, and he always tells me, "I'm not here to work."
So, Mom, do you live pretty close to Adams Station?
Yes, I lived on Church Street,
Oh, okay.
so just around the corner.
Okay, that's good. So when there's an emergency, call
Yes,
Mom.
yeah. Well, Daddy, if we go somewhere, Daddy always will check on it for us and make sure everything's running smooth.
Very nice. So did you always kind of know that you might have a restaurant, or was this just something that your sister?
No, just when everybody started getting rid of it, I loved it so much because I like to be with the people and
Yes.
I do like to talk, even though I told you I'd be nervous. I do like to
And you
talk.
guys aren't nervous at all.
Yes, but when my kids were little, I worked at the elementary school in the special needs room, so as an aide. So, and I've babysit kids. So no, I really didn't think. But when I was little, Mama always did the food for like the Bluegrass Festival in Adams and the Thresherman show. So,
Oh.
and once again, we love doing that because you're with people and you're meeting new people, and so
We love to be around all the people. That's part of it. I mean, part of being
yeah.
And that's such a great trait to have if you love to be around people, because I love people too. And so like every job I've had, I've loved because it involved people.
Yes. Yep.
Some people don't understand that.
No,
They're like,
they
"What?"
don't.
You like people, so yeah.
We do. We love to be. That makes our day.
Now, do you still do any food for the Kilgore Festival or Thresherman's Festival?
If they, I have not done in 2 years, 3 years. Yeah,
I
3
think
years.
it's 3 years.
I help on the side if they need something, or they'll come ask me because we used to do a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, and for those of you that have never been to the Kilgore Festival or the Thresherman's Festival, I highly recommend both of those. I love to go to those.
Yes.
And I know that the Kilgore is in May and the Thresherman's is in July.
Yes.
I think Thresherman's is at the second weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Third week.
Third weekend?
Third weekend.
I know they said it's been the same weekend
Yes.
for like ever.
Yes. Forever and ever.
Okay, so third weekend is Thresherman's Festival. Okay. And then the Kilgore is probably like around May 17th or something like that, I
Yeah, I
think.
think so. I
Okay.
think so.
Do you guys like bluegrass?
Yes.
Oh, Mama.
Yeah, Mama
like,
chimed
yes.
in.
All right. I almost wore my Bluegrass Festival shirt today, but it was a little bit more wrinkly than this one. So I was like, okay, I'm wearing my Tennessee one today. Well, that's great. I love Bluegrass too. And recently, well, actually last year, when we went to Kilgore Festival, my mother-in-law won tickets to the Bill Monroe.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So it was the Jerusalem Ridge.
Yeah.
Have you been to that before?
No, I have not.
It was really nice. We had never been, and so we got to see the birthplace and do all the tour as well. And then actually my favorite part was on Sunday because they did gospel bluegrass.
Oh.
And so they said anybody that wants to stay, just they played for free on Sunday. and that was my favorite.
I bet.
And that was an inspiration actually for me here because when I first got to town, I was looking for, bluegrass and old, good,
Yeah.
just old, any type, secular or Christian. I was looking for that on the radio and I couldn't find any. And I thought we were so close to Kentucky. Like, why don't we?
Why
have a
not?
station,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
So anyway, what we ended up doing here at WSGI is starting January 1st, when we play music, it's good old gospel. So it's
great.
usually ever. Yeah. Bluegrass gospel. Mama's happy.
Mama's on it. Yeah.
So I do want to make this request out there. So if anybody has around their house CDs or flash drives or something with maybe some of their family's bluegrass music, gospel bluegrass on it, get it to me because we can upload some of that. And how fun would that be?
Start playing it. Yes, that'd be awesome.
Because I know there's a lot of musicians still in this area. And I
Yes.
would love for people to be driving along and all of a sudden, oh, that's that's
Yeah.
Bubba.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
It would be awesome. Yes.
So yesterday at church, because I go to Lights Chapel in Greenbrier, and yesterday at church, actually, Randy, who's one of the he plays a stand up bass, Randy
Yeah.
Channing, so I know him. He said, "Lee Marie, I got some CDs. I just already uploaded them on my computer. I don't need them."
Oh,
And so I'm really excited to start listening to those because I looked through and some are local bluegrass folks that
That's neat.
even if it's not an official CD, that's okay.
Still play.
If the sound quality is acceptable enough, to put on, we will.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, so we only have about 5 minutes left because I did see our other guest coming in, who is going to be Matt Driscoll from Epiphany Baptist. Let's see, Adams Station. One more time here. It is located on.
7716 Highway 41 North in Adams. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 6 to 1:30. Watch us on Facebook if we need to close for any reason or if we have a catering job. We sometimes do close on Saturday, but we always put it on there
Great.
earlier in that week so everybody kind of knows.
Okay, yes, all of you right now, go on your Facebook page, find Adams Station, and go ahead and like them right now. Get familiar
Please.
with them. And do you sometimes put your specials up there? If you have
We put them on the night before. Whatever we're having, yes, I go on the night before about 7:15 and put it on. And
Oh, excellent.
yeah, the sides, or if we're doing anything different, if Mama's making pie, we try to put it on there. So,
Okay,
or if
great.
Mama's making a different pie, she makes pies no matter what. But
Now, Mama, how many different pies do you make?
I can make several. We just kind of get in a row doing the chocolate and the fudge and derby
pecan, buttermilk,
buttermilk.
coconut.
Because buttermilk is something that sells really good.
Ooh.
It's like
Yeah.
a chest pie.
Oh, now have you ever entered your pies in any of the fair
No.
contest? No, because you're beyond that. Your pies are just too much. It wouldn't be fair.
We do mini pies as well for wedding. Well, for anything, we do mini pies as well. So,
Oh, I
Yeah.
wonder. Did you like those little fried pies?
well, no, but she could make those too. But we hadn't done that. But the little 3-inch pies. So,
Okay. All right, yeah, because I was gonna say one time I was at a wedding that they all had those fried pies. And so I thought maybe
yeah.
Imagine making fried pies.
No,
for
I
that
don't want
many.
to. Not at all.
All right, yeah, don't ask me to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, that's like the cinnamon rolls for the wedding. No.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, we will have them back another time, and we'll have them bring a piece of each pie, so you can
Do
watch
that.
and taste them all.
We'll do a mini pie of each kind.
Oh my gosh! It reminds me. One time I had to fill in for my boss and talk at this candy convention.
Oh.
We had like 5,000 people in the room, and they brought samples of everything. And of course, I get this big bag of candy on my way out. They're like, you gotta try. So on the way home, I'm like tasting them. Oh my gosh! By the time I got home, I was like, "Oh, I'm so sick."
Sugar overload.
But anyways, no, I'm really excited. So the buttermilk pie is one of the
favorites.
One of the
for
favorites.
pie.
Yes.
And you just don't see that everywhere.
No, you don't.
And now, is that a family original recipe?
Well, that's where I learned to make
Ah,
it.
yeah, I bet you it is. Okay, so is it called Miss Jane's buttermilk pie?
No, we just call it buttermilk pie.
We just call it buttermilk pie. We do need to name one after her.
Yeah, I think you
So
should.
we definitely need to do
I
that.
think you do need to start naming this stuff.
I agree. That's what
And then what is your favorite? The pot pie?
I love, the chicken pot pie.
So Miss Sherry's pot pie.
Yeah, so it's my favorite.
Okay, well, next time I come in, remind me. I want to try the pot pie. And
Okay.
I want to try the buttermilk
Okay, we can do that.
We can do that.
All right. So you've been meeting, or maybe you already know, but for some listeners, and we do have a lot of new people in town. So I'm glad that you were able to come on. So we have Sherry and Jane Evans, and they are from Adams Station, and it's right, not too far into Adams.
No, it's we're right there on Main Street, what we call Main Street in Adams now. So,
Yeah.
so
So very close. And so I'm so glad that you ladies could join us. Is there anything else? Because we got 3 minutes. If there's anything else that we forgot.
well, my boyfriend said to say if anybody needed dozer work, call Greg Osborne. So
go.
that's his job. So.
Those are there you go.
So, or call me at the station and I can get you in touch with them. So,
And if the job's big enough, it'll come with a buttermilk pie.
with a free pie. There you go.
Do that too.
We can do
But
that.
you have to say you heard about it on WSGI.
We can do that.
There you go,
definitely.
some cross promotion.
That's right.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for coming in, and God bless you. And I just wish you the best. And I know I'll be seeing you real soon.
All right. Well,
All
thank you for having us.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, and as they exit, we will go ahead and play another one of our sponsor breaks here. We're going to have Matt Driscoll come in from Epiphany, and if you don't know, he had a big marriage conference there this last Saturday, so we're going to have him talk about that. But in the meantime, let's hear from U-Turn Laverne.
Robertson County, it is time to join the Gig Club. Get Cumberland Connect. If you are a Cumberland Electric customer, well, good news. You can join me in the Gig Club, and you can have a full gig for just $80, high-speed internet that will blow you away. If you're like me and you've had terrible internet service for far too long, well, it's time to get in the Gig Club. Now, what you do is you go to cumberlandconnect.org, put in your zip code, cumberlandconnect.org, and it'll tell you if they're in your neighborhood already or when they're going to be in your neighborhood. You can also just call them and ask the question, 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362. And if you're somebody in these areas, if you're a Cumberland Electric customer and you're having some financial struggles, well, because internet is now a utility, there is an affordable connectivity program providing qualifying households with monthly credit to help pay for internet services. And if you're eligible, you could receive a credit of up to $30 per month toward broadband services. And they have packages starting at, you guessed it, $30 per month. Be a part of the Gig Club or just get into high-speed internet with Cumberland Connect. CumberlandConnect.org. Tell them U-Turn sent you.
It's the news bill.
In the studio, and in case you haven't noticed, we have Matt Driscoll coming in, which is great because he normally has to work on Mondays, but I took advantage of the fact that it is a national holiday.
Love being a teacher now.
You love being a teacher.
Yes.
Awesome. Very cool. So we have Matt in because, for one reason, he had a wonderful marriage conference on Saturday.
I enjoyed it.
And yeah, my whole family did. They really did. And, you know, I don't know if you ever hear the Go Show, but that's one thing that I have been saying kind of on the Go Show lately is the churches aren't doing enough marriage things, you know, and the enemy is so after marriages and so after families. And so when I saw you guys are doing it, I said, you know what? I don't care what else is planned that day. I am going to go and support this.
Those people are afraid to talk about taboo things. You know, they're, heavens forbid, we might offend or, you know, these are real things.
Mm-hmm.
I've been preaching on that all month, and one of the stats I showed, every 42 seconds in America, there's a divorce.
Oh, how many seconds?
42 seconds.
42 seconds.
Every 42 seconds in America, there's a divorce.
That is
So in the time it takes for a brand new couple to do their vows, which is about 2 minutes,
Mhm.
3 people have gotten divorced.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, I am so glad that you had this. So what was your inspiration for that? Like, have you been wanting to have
My lovely wife.
Okay.
Her and I, for those, you know, a lot of folks know our testimony is, you know, it's been a bit of a rough spatch, and we're still a work in progress. I'm not gonna say we're overcome, we're perfect by any means, but we've learned to work within the rules of engagement. And basically, what it was, you know, this video and a lot of other things I try to help folks with, just give you tools in your toolbox to help you. That's really what it was. I mean, I got a lot of folks that I'm really close to that I'm sitting back, you know, from the bleachers and kind of seeing, you know, they could really use they could use a little help, you know, a little nudging. So that was really kind of the encouragement there. And I know my wife and I, we've benefited from that topic that we went over on Saturday. We've gone through it. We've gone through it a couple times, and yeah, Life Your Way to a Better Marriage. We've benefited several times. And every time we've gone to it, we've had either a takeaway or a refresh. It's like, oh yeah, we forgot. Maybe we have been slacking a little bit on this one area.
So where did you first hear about this or take the?
Military.
Okay.
Base chaplain did it actually was a weekend thing. We did one. So I think the first one we did was Opryland,
Okay.
where they just played everybody up at the hotel and just kind of they kind of like somewhat of a lock-in for the weekend. It was nice. It kind of forced everybody to slow down. I think that was the biggest part of this, is that just get everybody to slow down for a day. Most couples that came to it was like, oh, to take a day. But by the end of the day, I think every couple that was there Saturday was thankful. But I mean, I can't count how many people sat there and said they had to be drugged there.
Well, Bernie and I didn't even tell our husbands what we were doing.
Yeah, I
We
heard.
just said, we're going to something 8 to 4 family outing, because we knew, and
There'd be
like,
pushback.
and I love the that little survey test that you had to take beforehand. And when I was taking it, with Pop, he said, this better not be for tomorrow. I don't like conferences. And I said, well, we'll see.
Well, it makes it good. It's not really necessarily a conference, and
Oh, it wasn't. And they all enjoyed it, and they all laughed the whole time.
yeah.
And even Stephen was telling somebody about it last night, and he said, because they said 8 hours, he said, you know what? It didn't even feel like it. We were laughing the whole time.
We were laughing, and tried to break it up as far as the questions, kind of get thinking about just some discussion questions, what we could talk about, and how can we apply this to our life now. So I don't know. It was good. I think Mark does a great job as far as the video.
Yes.
I enjoyed everybody's feedback. I think
How do you pronounce his last name?
Gungor.
Gungor. Okay. So for those of you that don't know what book we're talking about, this is called Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage, Unlocking the Secrets to Life, Love, and Marriage by Mark Gungor. Gungor. And he is a pastor, motivational speaker, author, musician, and his website is laughyourway.com. But I hope that you guys will do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
And also the other churches that are listening out there, or any of you that are listening, forward this video that we're doing right now to your pastor or to your church and just say, hey, can we do this? I mean, I would love to see every church.
What I loved about this was, it wasn't just Epiphany members. We promoted out. So this will be something this was a trial run, first time ever. I thought it was a great turnout. Had 12 couples total. So to me, it's a good number. If it starts going much more bigger than that, it does get a little more chaotic. So I think our turnout was pretty good. This is something we do want to consider doing, maybe either 6 months or maybe at least once a year at minimal. But we were kicking around the thought of maybe doing 6 months, do another one.
So when you said you went to a weekend, and then I also heard my one friend Pat Samler, who sometimes comes on the show here, she and her husband pastored a church for 20 years in Omaha, and they actually did like a series.
Yep.
So they also have some,
Yeah, there's a whole series. You can always just go to his website, and he's got all kinds of material out there.
Okay.
The weekend that we did, basically, we watched Tale of Two Brains on Friday night.
What was it called? Tale of the Two Brains.
Yeah, that was that
That's
first
what you said.
video.
Okay.
Where Tale of Two Brains talks about, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I have plagiarized the poop out of Mark Gungor in my counseling with some of this. I've modified it to for Matt speak. But I will say, like the two brains part, like the way we have our boxes and the way we compartmentalize compared to the way women multitask. I use his analogies there, where everything's interconnected, and there's a lot of truth to it.
And that was very useful, because even little things like when he was talking to a lady and she said, my husband won't do things, and he said, well, how many times do you ask him?
You only ask him once. So that voice that he
And
uses.
he's like, well, no wonder you have got to ask at least twice. And, and so that was just really good, because then I felt like, okay, my husband wasn't just ignoring me. I really do need to just ask twice.
Well, some of us have the attention span of a flea, and It's
Well,
gonna
and the
go.
box thing, the box thing was really helpful to be like, yeah, you just have these boxes. So if he's doing something else and I'm talking about a different topic, then yeah, it's hard for him to.
Well, there's also psychology in there too. Our brain, if you're RAM and your ROM. So for your short-term memory, you can only collect so much stuff for that short-term memory. So if you're already in the middle of doing something, and because again we don't multitask. Yeah, it's generalized. There are some men that can multitask, women that can't. But generally, men are a little bit more singular-minded as far as the
Focused.
task. Yeah. So if we're already locked in and we have external things dumping in at us, we're going to drop the ball on stuff unless we write them down or make the notes. So instead of maybe asking them twice, make a note. For my wife and I, we use the whiteboard on the refrigerator.
Yeah, I like that idea. That was really good.
So like for me, it's my analogy I like to use is, okay, in a business, any business in America, if we ran any business in America the way we run our marriages, that business would collapse. If we run our marriages the way we run a business, we'll succeed. So take some of this. It's okay. Take some tools that you've taken from running businesses, apply it to your marriage. Businesses, you have to evolve. If you don't evolve, you die. So your competitor is going to come in and crush you. Same in a marriage. So many marriages kind of get stuck in their own way and not be willing to learn. That's where I did appreciate it. And we had, if we combined, told everybody's years married in that room Saturday, we're probably looking at close to, 200, 300, 400 or something. I don't know. It was a lot. We had a lot of folks that had. How was Bernie and Steve's? How many years?
They have been married for 59 years.
Okay. How long you guys?
We have been married for 5.
Okay.
6
5.
in May.
Christy and I, there's 14. Liz and Clint, they had about 21, 22, something like that. If I went around the room and added them all up, and we're looking at least a good 300 years of marriage in that room that day. That's some awesome stuff. But one of the common thing you heard from folks is, hey, we got to make sure we're not getting complacent. Let's keep it fresh. Let's do little seminars like this. So I've done this, I've done that one, I've done that one. Hey, great, I'm happy for you. Do it again. It's kind of like reading the Bible. How many times you read the same verse and you maybe skipped over it 20 times, but on that 21st time, that verse jumps out and smacks you in the face.
Right.
You're like, wow, I'd never saw it from this lens because, well, God's got you in a season. So if you've done seminars, whatever, try it again. You might have been in a bad place last time you did it, had a bad experience, who knows, whatever. I think that's one thing kind of chaps my backside when people fuss about that. It's like, come on, just give it a shot. If you're content being where you're at, then
Well, and
usually
I don't know.
something bad's gonna happen.
Have you guys ever been to the Weekend to Remember marriage conference that Family Life does?
No, we haven't been to that one.
Okay, so that's one thing that they say in theirs is, if you're not working on your marriage, you're working on your divorce.
Yeah.
So it is something we have to really make a conscious effort to be nourishing, because wherever you're watering, that's what grows.
Everybody's always going to need an outside third party kind of refresher. There's nothing wrong with it. You show me anybody that says they got marriage figured out, I'll show you one delusional person.
Yeah. Now you do counseling.
Yeah.
So you want to give people information about that if they want to, they missed out. You guys all missed out if you didn't go this past Saturday, but you can still do individual counseling with Matt. So you want to give them information on that?
It's Chain Breaking Ministries. You can find me online. Number 615-598-3848. Again, that is 615-598-3848.
Okay.
I do the counseling right here in Springfield. I can do Zoom. We can make it happen.
Okay.
We live in a society where it's okay. It's perfectly normal. We should be working on our physical health. People spend all kinds of money working on their physical health. Whether it be doctors or exercising or this and that. Mental health, and especially within a marriage, is so they're so undervalued. You got to have that third party perspective. Look, I don't speak womanese, but I can translate. And it's so important to have a third party that can come in and decipher what each other's saying. That's the other part too. I think Mark talked about a little bit as far, a little bit about the languages. Part of the way we compartmentalize for guys, compartmentalize, or women with multitasking, and we do speak a different language. So you could be saying something to your husband, and your husband is not quite picking up what you're putting down. Now, having that third party there where I can say, okay, listen, here's what she's saying. Then I can look to you and say, okay, hey, I want to let you know this is what he heard, because that's the other aspect is in communication, not that full loop. I know with you guys, I shared the analogy of calling an airstrike. If I call an airstrike, I want to make sure they're not dropping the ordnance on my grid coordination. So how do I ensure that? Well, the person that I'm calling the airstrike to has to give me feedback, acknowledging my words. What did they hear me say? That's the part of communication. Okay, honey, I heard you say this. This is what I heard. How many times, you and Steve, have you said, well, that's not what I said? Okay, it doesn't matter if that's what you said. That's what was heard. Take a step back. Maybe reword the sentence. Reword your statement. Put in a language the boy can understand. Or put in a language that the girl can understand.
Yeah, I liked that segment a lot, and especially when I'm trying to remember this one example. About the different words, words mean
Yes.
different things, like if a lady says, well, when you get a chance, can you please do X,
Yeah.
Y, or Z?
So you guys really connected with that one.
Yeah. And so, to a lady, and it was funny because I did hear a comedian recently use that. And that's why that just came to my mind, because he said, gentlemen, that means now,
Yeah, but then the hard part then is okay, well, that wasn't part of my plans that I had right now. So you're asking me to drop everything that I was doing, and now you're saying that your needs are more important than my needs. Now you're exerting dominance, and that's not what it should be. It should be, if you go, hey, I need this right now, can you do this for me? Okay, great.
Yeah, you need to specify the time frame that you need.
Yes, big time. But if you leave it vague, and really that's kind of, look, I'm raising my hand. I know you can't all see me on the radio land, but I'm raising my hand. Saying, I'm just as guilty of that as well. We all have a little bit of pride. And to have, I want my marriage to be an equal thing. So if my wife comes in and uses like an aggressive type, and she may not be trying to say it aggressively, but it's something that says, okay, when you get a chance, but the first thing, okay, I know that definition is do it now. Who really likes being told what to do? I mean, let's all go back to our childhood. When you're sitting there playing, and all of a sudden you're told, go inside, clean your room. Nobody likes being told what to do. We do want things to be able to have to be options. So what I try to encourage is, okay, when can you get this done? I need this done. When can you get it done?
Yeah.
Ask the question. If it's not in your time frame, then say, hey, okay, I would like to have it done by fill in the blank. That's communication. Now you're not taking power from either side. You're able to get what you need. He's able to provide what you need, but yet there's been no power struggle going on there. If that makes any kind of sense.
Right. And it's just a matter of, also I think giving your spouse the benefit of the doubt, and knowing that, we speak completely different languages and our brains are completely different, you really do need to be more specific, with what you're saying, because you're coming out of a different type of a head.
I didn't get a chance to cover it Saturday. I don't think Gungor really covered it either. But men, we need billboards. Okay, if you give us a box of Legos, almost any man I know, you give us a box of Lego with a picture on that box, we will make that picture. Why? It's there. It's defined. But if also you give a box of Legos, no pictures, and you tell us to make a house or something, we're going to make a very vague thing, and it's not going to be specifically what you want. But if you say, hey, I want what's in that picture, we are going to give it to you, because it's that task. We were given a task. That's why I pointed out Saturday that generally, again, in quotations, generally, men do better in the military, because there are goals, there are tasks to complete. Task is go get the bad guy. We're going to go get the bad guy. We're not going to think about anything else other than getting the bad guy. Generally, males are more task orientated. So if you throw too many tasks at us, it throws us off. So that's where we talk about prioritize. What is your priority? Hey, I need this task done. It's a priority 1 for me. Okay, great. Now I can know, but you realize, as long as you understand that what was number 1 is now bumped down to number 2. And that's where sometimes I think a lot of couples get in trouble too, is they expect that it's okay to have a bunch of ones. That's just impossible. You cannot, very rarely can a man complete multiple tasks to completion at the same time. Or, no, I'm king of 90%, like I told you the other day. Job security. I got to leave that one piece of trim off or something like that. That way I can still, honey, I got something to do. I got to go finish up that one project. There's, I know what I'm doing. I'm manipulating. But you give me a task, and prime example, there was something last year. I was working on the barn. I was cranking away. I'm building like crazy, building stalls and everything in this barn. And she kind of throws me off. She says, hey, I really want to put this goat fence up, whatever. So we start making a fence for the goats and all that. It took me forever to get back in a rhythm on the barn.
Okay.
Because I was in that mode. I had a good flow going, routine, because that's, men really are generally more about routine. Give us the same task and we'll go get it done. But by the time we get done with the gate or the fencing for the goats, I went back onto the barn. I was like, it took me almost a solid week to get back up to the rhythm I was at before, because it had thrown at her. It throws that curveball.
Right.
If she had said, okay, let's go to this point. When you're done with here, then we'll go over. Now I'm able to shift. It's about that boxes. The goat box touched the barn box. And there's intermingling. And so now I have Legos in with my Lincoln Logs, and that's just driving me nuts. You know, and it's just hard.
Yeah. No, that's a great analogy. I love that.
But understand, so what I like to say is use these opportunities, like Lash Away the Better Marriages, or whether it be me with counseling, or whatever you get this information stuff from. You're basically learning about the enemy, right? You're learning about the rules of engagement. And I'm not saying enemy is like my wife is evil, but there are times when you're trying to figure life out. It's the more you know about your opponent, the better. And I'm sorry, in marriage, yes, they're in a sense a loving opponent, but still oppositional because we are opposite. And you cannot, I'm not gonna say defeat, but you can never overcome the struggles that come with marriage and to understand the opposing side. So, ladies, understand your male. Men, try to understand your women. See it from their lens. So I know I kind of talk a little bit more about like my thing, but it's the same with my wife too. I've got to understand the lens she's coming from. So when she says, when you get a chance, I have to understand that means now. Priority, like talk about priorities. Our list will start to add up. We will sit down. She'll say, okay, well, this is a number 1 for me. This is say goat fence. Goat fence is a number 1 for her. Well, for me, I'm putting it as a 2. So let's compromise. Let's put it to a 4. Because if we're nonstop giving over to one mate or the other's priorities, then we aren't presenting. A story I'd like to have is like when we bought our house out in Barren Plains there. Garage was a disaster. I pretty much just built this house. It was a rebuild. Rebuilt this house. All kinds of yard work, all kinds of stuff for animals and their critters. Meanwhile, the garage looks like crap. It's just stuff in there, and I'm fussing. I'm like, hey, just go spend a day cleaning the garage out. Never happens. But meanwhile, all these other little projects will come up that she'd like to have done. I do them. And I'm fine until every time when I go in the garage, and I'm like, this garage, and it would start causing resentment. So finally one day I'm like, well, you know what? I'm starting to resent her because this garage is so crappy. Because I am putting all her priorities over mine. Like for me, I would love to have a place where I could just, it's kind of a blah day, and you go out the garage, do some woodworking. I'm always working with people nonstop. So to me, you giving my saws and some wood, that's cathartic. But I didn't have that opportunity to go build something. And I was starting to resent her for it because, here I am giving. Well, where's a chance for you to give to me? So we had to sit down and have that conversation. So, okay, then that's when we kind of start coming with the prioritizing. Let's just start putting on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You have your list, I have my list. Now, some of the items may be identical, but you may rate this higher than I do, or vice versa. So that's where that commonality comes in, and then expectations can be made. Because a lot of times, wives will say, "Well, he never gets nothing done," and we'll kind of fuss about their husbands not being accountable, not being men of their word. But like you said a little bit ago, were the expectations clear? So you would do that in a business.
Mm-hmm.
You would have a whiteboard. You would have something that's recording your timelines.
Mm-hmm.
We do it all the time in business. Okay, we have this project. When's the due date? When's the contractors? What's the status? So when we sit down in a morning meeting, every day we'd have a meeting. Plant manager would be there at the head. Just go around the horn. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody report out where they're at. We'd update the board. Good to go. No problem. Oh, that's falling behind. What can we do to help that?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of waiting until deadlines have passed. Well, you told me you'd have that done by Christmas. But maybe it was an outdoor project that's been, right around Christmas, sub-zero weather. And right after sub-zero weather, we went right into a ton of rain, right?
Or you got put on a different project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just standing around like the house, right? So you told your wife you do something outside. Right after Christmas, we had sub-zero weather. I'm sorry, you ain't doing outdoor projects in that weather. That was cold. And then once it kind of, we got out of that winter thaw, whatever you want to call it, we went to some pretty good rain. So you almost lost a month.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had promised, hey, during the break or something like that, I'll knock that project out, but you didn't get it done, part of that communication is, hey, I know I said I'd have it done by here. You get ahead of the curve. This is for guys right now. You want to gain your wife's trust. Say, hey, look, I know I said to get this project done by this time, but I didn't. Here's kind of why. Explain the why, and if she's cool with the explanation, great.
Mm-hmm.
But now set the new deadline.
Mm-hmm.
You would do that in a business, do it in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you as a wife, would you be cool with that explanation?
Right.
You're not gonna have a lot of heartburn about it and be all upset. Well, you told me 2 months ago you'd have this done. Well, you guys have already got ahead of it, and that's the other aspect too. Marriage is get ahead of the pitch.
Right. So do you recommend, like in your marriage counseling, like that they have like a weekly meeting on projects or anything
Yes.
like that? And
Monthly meeting on finances. I mean, run your marriage like a business.
how often date nights?
Date nights, I mean, that's a hard one to prescribe because of the kid factor. If you got a bunch of youngins like hanging on your hip all the time, at least once a month. Even if
And if you don't have kids,
you don't have kids, it should be
once a week.
once a week, at least once every other week. Try it again. It's tough. I mean, the world we live in a chaotic world. My schedule's pretty chaotic. She's chaotic. She's in horse rescue leagues on this other stuff. I'm doing my things but a date night doesn't necessarily have to be full on, hey, let's dress up, doll up, go out to some fancy schmancy restaurant. It can be something simple as, hey, let's meet up at Burger King and just have a burger together and keep the phones in the car for 30 minutes. Being intentional, spending intentional time. I mean, maybe sometimes date nights on the couch. I can't remember the last time. We don't really sit down and watch a lot of TV. So maybe date night, sitting down and watching a movie together.
Right. And there's a lot of great things, even just in our county, that are free. And that's one thing I do go over on my show. I have a show every Wednesday morning from 8 to 9, the Go Show. Even like the library, they'll show a free movie, or, there's a lot of things. Willie Mays, last night,
the
Saturday
music.
night, they had She's My Sister. Matter of fact, we're going to have She's My Sister, the two bluegrass girls. We're going to have them on the show this coming Wednesday at 8 a.m. So if you miss them, you can tune into that. But there's so much going on, and there's so many resources out there. And I do want to mention the Weekend to Remember. I just pulled that up. They are having one in Franklin. And that is March 8th to the 10th. So it starts on a Friday night, goes Saturday, and then Sunday gets out around 12:30. So you can go to familylife.com If you want to try our code, you could get a discount, which is look up, LOOKUP, all in caps, look up. If you try that code, you may be saving $50 a person. You could just see if it still works. I don't know if it does. But anyways, I highly recommend it. I think Stephen and I have gone to Weekend to Remember 3 times now. They have them all over the United States. So that one is coming up, though, in our area, Franklin, Tennessee, March 8th to the 10th. Now, we have a couple minutes left. Can you also invite them to your CR program?
This yet another tool. And maybe you're struggling and you just need some folks just kind of love on you, kind of help guide you, whatever you're going through. Doesn't have to be addictions. My wife did not come in recovery for addiction. She came in recovery because she married a moron. So that's what she's in recovery for. Yeah, Celebrate Recovery. We meet every Tuesday night at Epiphany Baptist at 211 First Avenue. That's 211 First Avenue.
In Springfield,
Tennessee, 37172. If you have any questions on that, you feel free to call me at 615-598-3848. Again, that's 615-598-3848.
what time does that start on Tuesdays?
We start dinner at 5:30. Large service at 6:30. Small group at 7:30. We do offer childcare. So from babies all the way up to high school, we'll keep an eye on them. We just insist you take them home. Or if not, if you're late, then they're going home Red Bulls and puppies. We do, like I said, dinner, childcare. Let's see what else as far as CR goes.
So 5:30 is the meal.
Yeah, we do a
6:30 is
free
the-
meal.
is the-
6:30 is where the service starts. Yep.
and that's in the main
Yep,
sanctuary.
sanctuary. Yep.
And then at 7:30, you break up into
Right.
small groups, or just males and females.
Yep. Small groups, males and females.
Okay.
Just kind of a chance, just because iron sharpens iron. One brother and one sister sharpens another. You're able to sit down and just kind of vent about what's kind of going on in your world. That's nobody's sitting around talking about really. Very rarely people sit around and talk about their actual struggles with an addiction or something like that. Like for myself, I know I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I refuse to call myself that, but I'm someone that struggles with depression. I struggle with anxiety. And so I'll just talk about what's going on in my world as far as what's going on in my brain right now. That helps keep me on the straight and narrow.
But no one else is pressured to talk about their story, so it's very low key. They just give you some tools for your tool belt.
Yeah. You have to realize that you're not alone. So maybe if your marriage is struggling and you just don't know what to do and things are stressing you out, come check it out. That's probably a majority of the folks that come to CR are life issues.
Now that Tuesday night, is that when Laverne's in your worship group?
Yep.
All right, so you can also see U-Turn Laverne there.
Yep.
All right, she will be back tomorrow, by the way. She only took today off, and but we are at the 7:59 mark. I can't believe it went so fast. Thank you so much, Matt
Usually does.
Driscoll from Epiphany Baptist Church, who had the Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage seminar this past Saturday, which was so good. I'm so thankful that you did that.
In a marriage, you got to laugh.
Amen.
Have fun. Don't, it's a positive thing. Laugh with it.
Awesome. And you can go and meet him tomorrow night at Epiphany at the Celebrate Recovery at 5:30. Go have dinner and check them out. Excellent. All right. Well, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for bringing these guests on today. We love you. We praise you. Just please guide all of our steps today. May everything we say and do glorify you. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
All right. You've been listening to 1100 WSGI. Laverne will be back tomorrow. So God bless. Make it a great day.
One street over there's a life I could have known.